Hello everybody and welcome to episode 8 in my Et Impera head-to-head campaign as Carthage against JackieFish, who's playing as the Seleucid Empire. Now things have started to turn a little bit more in our favor, and I named the last episode Turning the Tide because of it. We're after winning a couple battles now against Jackie in Egypt, where we took over Egypt, we held out in a fort defense against an encroaching Seleucid army, and we also helped defeat a Seleucid navy with the combination of pirates and an Egyptian navy helping fight at sea outside of Alexandria. So he's been a little bit hindered over in the African theater and the Egyptian theater. Meanwhile, we took a town back from Rome, and we liberated a town from Rome, creating a new military ally in Sicily named Panormus. And this is essentially going to give us a forward ally that we can help use in a future campaign against Italy, a future Italian campaign. Or at the very least, we'll create a distraction. Maybe Rome will take them out, and we'll just buy ourselves some time before they try to come across to Carthage itself. In Iberia, our two armies have now linked up. We took out the rebels at Mastia, and we delivered them safely, obviously crossing the ocean. And then we started to push up. We took a kind of a half stack out at our half stack belonging to the Aravasi out at Ars. It's kind of a hard one to say. So we've actually managed to retake Ars, and now they've only got one town left, the Aravasi, and they're holed up at Numantia, and they also are at war now with the Celtici, who are sending an army up this way as well. So we kind of want to get there before they do, and but things generally are looking a lot better in Iberia. We also had a rebellion somewhere out here, but we just kind of levied a few troops into one of our governor kind of generals out here that was kind of adding buffs to the province, and he's gone out and dealt with that situation as well. So things are looking a little bit more positive compared to how dire they were the episode before. Now, I've got a few, and that's where we leave off. We basically have two armies ready to go. We're building up our fleets, we're dealing with rebellions, and we're just, monitoring the situation over in Egypt, though we don't fully know exactly the extent of which Jackie is growing, maybe in Arabia or elsewhere. Now, before we get into the episode proper, I've actually got some comments that I've kind of picked out that I wanted to go through. So it might be a bit of a longer intro here, but I wanted to go through them. So the first one is from Stephanus Tapaskos, and he says, "You're such a bad player. You had very good shock cavalry, and half your army was taking a nap inside the fort. Charge them at your enemies." This is obviously a reference to the defensive fort siege that we had in the last battle. I take umbrage with this comment, not because he says I'm a bad player. I do consider myself an average player. I think I was much better back in the day. People used to say I was bad even back then, and I'd take up the offer to fight them in multiplayer battles and usually beat them. Almost all the time, actually. But these days, my skills have definitely waned, and that's because I don't play the game that often. I play it once a week. I don't play DEI that often. I never read stats, and when I was given an Egyptian army, I have no idea what units I'm using. I haven't replayed as I played as Egypt about 2 years before, but it's been such a long time that I don't really know. So I just go by feel alone. Like, for instance, he said I had good shock cavalry. I don't know how good they were or bad they were. I just kind of throw them in, see if they survive. And if they do, then I'm like, okay, they're pretty good, and I'll use them again. I go by feel. So over the course of many battles, you'll notice that I start to, especially when it comes to Carthaginian armies, this feeds into the next comment, I start to understand things a lot better. But this isn't what I took umbrage with, so I don't mind if people say I'm bad. I never say I'm good, so it's not really a problem. I do take umbrage with the idea of coming out of the fort and, charge at them instead of just like taking a nap inside. Now, the reason I didn't do this is because essentially, obviously, I'm against a human player. This is Jackie. If I begin moving out of this fort, first of all, the amount of troops to come through this tiny gap would take quite a long time to try to get them all through. They would definitely all get bunched up, so you'd have to go quite slowly, one by one almost. And if he sees them coming out, he's basically just going to move a hoplite up here, a hoplite here, and just like hold these two, side bits of the fort, and you would just get pinned in anyway. So I don't think it's a good idea to do that. I think I actually played it pretty well in terms of maneuverability, in terms of waiting for my other army to come up, so that they were applying pressure on him from the side while he had to try and take the fort. We also have a gentleman's agreement where you gotta go for the objective that's in the battle at the time. If we're fighting a settlement battle, a fort battle, something like that, you gotta try and go for the actual objective. He doesn't have to, he's not forced to go into the fort, but I have to defend it. He will have to go into the fort obviously eventually, but as I had an army coming up, he can pay attention to that one first and then go. But that's not what he did. He paid attention to the fort and waited for the army to come up. So if I was to just up and leave and try to like corner camp a red line, merge my armies and then fight him, that's not how it works, because I have to defend the fort. It's just the gentleman's agreement that we have to try and keep things immersive and realistic, that it's just like you gotta like at least try to play the objective, I guess. So in that regard, I would have had to come out the front, I would have to come out the side, and I did try and come out the side later on during the battle, and it took forever just to move a couple of units out. Now, where my biggest failings were in that battle was my micro. Watching it back, I'm like, Jesus, you know, there's so much in the battle that I'm just not utilizing or using, but that's what it's like being a spectator. Being a spectator, it's so much easier to see that stuff. When you're fighting the battle, you get this tunnel vision. It's way harder to really get that overall picture and see where you're really messing up. So I just wanted to defend myself a little bit there. I still disagree with the idea that coming out of the fort would have done anything in that regard. I think I could have done better in many other ways, but I really do believe that fighting a human player, JackieFish, who's as good as me, if not better, would have been able to react to the amount of time that it would have taken for me to come out of here. You may remember he had units eventually up here on the walls holding me in place while I was in the fort. So I could have left out the back, but then he would have taken the fort. I would have had to go try to assault it. So, and he's got pikes. So I just don't think, I don't know. Don't think that would have been the right thing to do. But anyway, that was the first comment. The next one is from David Cummings, and he says, I honestly think the Carthage campaign in DEI is way tougher than it lets on. The units you have access to before the reforms are just so incredibly weak in that stat department. Morale specifically. Culturally, you're surrounded by dense opposition, making no easy path for expansion. You can client state, but they really break up your core provinces in North Africa, crippling settlements that are left alone. When I attempted this campaign on very hard settings, normal combat of course, I really focused on general abilities that improved overall unit morale. You really have so few solid troopers when you're recruiting mercs that you just have to hold them in combat a little. Just having them hold in combat that little bit longer with the morale bonus makes a huge difference. Thanks for making the great content, though. It's really beautiful that you and Jackie can dedicate enough time and energy to give us this style of content that nobody else does on YouTube. Yes, it is interesting just because I actually came up with the idea for doing this type of campaign in terms of Carthage versus Seleucids, and the reason for doing this was because I felt like they were both big empires with a lot of challenge. I knew that Carthage had a lot of challenge, like David says early on. Maybe not as much as I thought, especially when it comes to Iberia and how weak their troops are in the beginning. Like I said, this is something I've learned over time, and you'll see as the campaign goes on, I'm using the same units, but I'll get way better with them as I get the feel for them. The thing is, the satrapies that Jackie has, I thought would rebel, and I thought they were scripted to rebel when I initially came up with this campaign, which meant that he would have been fighting over in the east for a very long time while I fought over in the west, in Iberia, for a very long time, and then eventually two big empires would clash. That was the idea, and we're both coastally on the Mediterranean, so I thought that would be like a fun kind of idea where we're both starting as factions that are already kind of big, because previously what we did before was, the campaign before this, I was Swaby, he was the Aravasi, I think, and I actually won that campaign. I blew up, like, built up really big and huge, and he actually collapsed from a civil war. So, you know, Iberia just seems to be this challenging place, it seems. But anyway, when it comes to the satrapies, they're, you know, spoiler alert, they never rebel. Maybe they will in beyond the streams I've done right now, because our campaign is still ongoing and still really even, actually. But they never rebel, so that never happened. And that completely changed the whole dynamic of the campaign for me, at least in terms of preparing it, because I always assumed I'll be busy on my kind of solidifying up my client states and dealing with Rome. He'll be busy managing his client states, but that never happened, and it will never happen. So that's tipped the balance of power way more, I think, in his favor, at least in my opinion, early on. So the other comment then was, the first wave of victories feels good. I wonder if it would have been viable to run an all-cav army raiding through Italy. And then maybe making vassal states and stuff like that. Just wanted to address this comment as well. We typically don't do cheese armies, so all cav army would be pretty cheesy. Now, obviously, historically, there were armies that were like largely dominated by cavalry. But in terms of playing a battle, if I was to attack a town with an all cav army, I would have to basically just fire my missiles. And as per our agreement, where I have to try and at least take the town, I'd fire all my missiles to try and hurt his defenses as much as possible. He'd have Roman spear infantry, remember? And he would just square up, hold the town center, and if I couldn't break all of his units with all my missiles, I'd be forced to cycle cav charge constantly into a town down streets, and I don't think that would go very well. And I wouldn't just pull out of the battle and then go fight it again and fire all missiles. That just, it's too cheesy. It wouldn't make for interesting viewing, so I wouldn't do that. Raiding around though with the cav army might have been a good idea, but you know, I'm really hamstrung for money, so I just don't think it's viable. Also, an invasion of that proportion is actually really hard to do. Units move at sea so slowly. that it'd be just really difficult to actually land an army somewhere up here. And as we saw before, I've actually hidden them now because we don't know exactly. There was like 4 armies in the southern part of Italy. So I just don't feel like he'd last very long, because with zone of control taking up quite a lot of, you know, area around towns, you actually have very little maneuverability around them. There's obviously dense mountain ranges and forests around here as well. So it's actually, Italy is like really just a series of 3, it's like a 3-lane road. It's really only almost 2 lanes in some aspects, but it's kind of like 3 lanes that you have to go be funneled down, and zone of control just blocks you from really moving around that much. So I don't think it would actually be that viable. I just wanted to read that one as well. And then the last comment is from Lord Aragon 001. I honestly feel like we're not getting enough campaign progression to keep us on the edge of our seats per episode. Most of the time it's taken by some battles whose outcome was more or less clear. Can you perhaps show us the pre-battle screens and then just the results instead of the entire fight sometimes? Sometimes, yes, if I feel like the battle's not going to be very good. I've actually told my editor, and he's done the next few episodes already, to always include the battles, because on the streams we have 4 hours, which is usually about 3 hours of just solid campaign, and then maybe an hour of, you know, a 40-minute battle or something somewhere in there. People are like starving for battles on the streams, so I told my editor originally, I was like, include every battle because they're the best part. At least to me, they always were. But with only 1 hour episodes, some battles do take up a really long time, and to have 2 battles in one episode, that was a bit much in the last one. So I do agree on that front that not much happened on the campaign as a result. Most episodes are always going to feature a battle, though. That's just something I think is important to have, because it's just hits both kind of people who are interested. But maybe the battles could be chopped up a little bit more to stop some of the maneuvering, or sometimes. Now, I do kind of disagree with the fact that you don't think battles are close. Like, I think that 4th battle we had was really close, and I thought the naval one before it obviously wasn't, but I thought it could have been when we had it, which is why I thought it was interesting to show, because I thought the Egyptians were going to win that fight. But I think the overwhelming numbers of I thought the Seleucids are going to win that fight, but I think the overwhelming numbers of the pirates and the Egyptians combined just basically snapped their morale and made them all break almost. And also the pirate ships are way better than I thought. So in hindsight, that battle probably wasn't as very interesting to watch. But for me as a player playing it, I was like, whoa, I couldn't believe that had happened. So I thought it was still interesting to kind of show it off. But yeah, anyway, feedback noted. The thing is, we only do 1 stream per week. So the most we can ever do in terms of uploads is 2 videos per week. Otherwise, we'll start outpacing the streams and then eventually run out. And we'll be like, well, no video this week because we have to wait for a stream, and we'll start like slowing down. So it's always going to be 2 videos per week. And like if we were to kind of trim out the battles, then the episodes would just be shorter. We wouldn't get any more content in because we start outpacing the streams. So that's basically how that works. So thanks for the feedback. That's it for the intro. I know it's quite long, but I actually did edit down a battle in this one. So that's why this intro is quite long. The edits are given to me as close to an hour as they can be, and then I insert myself at the beginning. So me at the beginning isn't taking up anything, isn't removing any time from the episode, just in case you were wondering. This episode is just a shorter one, just because of how things worked out.
I think we got another battle. The Egyptians are attacking Cyprus.
That's Cyprus, wow.
Yeah, they don't really have a great force, but...
No, we'll give it a go.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of one... I mean, definitely you could easily win with... you got a lot of slingers and I have no cavalry.
Mm-hmm. You have super slingers army? Yeah, I guess we're coming in by boats, though. We're coming in by transport. That's a huge issue. I actually have an idea. I wonder would it be crazy to drop off some units in a different place. Like drop them off in different places. Like 2 out this way. Actually, maybe even 4 out that way. The question is, can I get there before his units can get to me? I don't know. That's why I'm like thinking of lining up over here, but I just don't know how much space there is. I can land on all of that, can't I? Pretty sure I can. So yeah, I guess that's probably safer. Alright, ready to go. That's the best we can hope for. See, we're so slow. He's just gonna take me out. I actually don't think I'm gonna make it there.
Transports ready for orders. Commander.
I would almost need to head towards him. with like some units.
Transports ready and waiting.
Because these two ships like are actually going to be able to just like they one tap me right now.
We await your command.
Halo? Oh my god. Definitely not Halo. I mean, maybe for some actually. It is a pretty popular game. Did that release this decade? I guess Reach did.
Transports ready for orders. Ships at your command. Transport ships. With yours. We await your command. Hack them down. Moving out.
Turn. You fools. Oh my god, they're alive. Keep going.
Transport. We await your command. Transports. Ready for orders. Disembark.
They deserve to live, Jackie.
By your command. Disembark. Transport ships. Now.
Oh my god, the speed of that ship.
They're rowing like their lives depend on it.
Transports ready and waiting.
Oh, I think they hit me before I landed. We've made it, boys.
Go, go, go! Ram!
Oh, they didn't make it. Imagine jumping off there and not being able to make it.
Fighters ready.
Well, better go drown.
Literally, people just walk out there. They're literally touching the ground.
Hopeless. Think of the equipment, Jackie. They can't move with equipment.
That archer unit I sunk are literally just wearing tunics.
Give way. Go ashore.
I can't dock this ship until one of these pulls away. I'm pretty scared.
To the
Need to like go
shore.
here maybe or something.
Set us. Sword.
Poor guy. Hit him with the slingers. Yeah, maybe if I kept the slingers out, but that's a big risk. That's a big if, you know. Can you use all your slingers to knock away his ships before we land?
Transport
Don't know.
ships. Transports ready and waiting.
Oh my god, he knows. I don't want to turn these guys to face them. That's not worth wasting their ammo on that.
Orders. Give way.
I have to hope that these ships like block Jackie basically,
Set us.
and not me.
Give way.
Please, Jackie, have mercy.
No retreat. I mean, your ships are going to do a great job of shielding me and you.
Yeah, I was hoping just you.
Await your orders. Commander. Moving out.
Come on, squeeze. Oh, my guys are actually firing at him as well here, which is good. There we go. You have it. Come on, guys. You have it. Just go straight. Don't worry about that ship. Just you have it. That uncrewed ship.
Hit your targets, man.
Oh yeah. What a victory. This landing.
They're going to escape.
Oh shit. I don't know if they've made it or not. No.
Ram!
Oh no, not here. Come on.
No,
Ugh.
I didn't do any damage. It glitched out. You win this one.
I don't know. Like they're not really making it.
There's no way to do that. I guess I can try and use this shit.
You're just like nudging them along the coast. I think they're out of their docking point.
Scrappers ready. Aye. Missiles at your command. Amisos. By your orders. As you wish.
Yeah.
Transport ships at your command.
Hey, better stop. Okay, let's go have a big run up this time. I'm gonna sail away. I'm coming from the other side.
Hitting me from both sides. This is crazy.
I'm gonna give it a go because it's looking like the other side hard growing as well.
It's like raining javelins on my trips. Have you zoomed in? Oh, it's just stopped now, actually.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Transports ready and waiting.
That's a new one. I've never seen that bug. The javelins falling from the sky like that.
It's like there's a zone of control around it as well. I just can't move. Like the other ship is just sailing.
Yeah, I think the unmanned ship is pushing me as well, so I can't dock.
Back. Oh, you're landing! Come on! The second I leave, you
Oh, they
land.
made it, did they? Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I didn't click them or anything. Legends. What's going on with your troops at the barricades? They're like fighting your own barricades.
Yeah.
57% damage. Appreciate it.
No problem. I mean, they're gonna go down because this unit can't get through. It's currently the other side of the barricades, but
Slinging from all sides, especially the right side.
it took them until 3 kingdoms to add back in the deployables. So
I don't know how I can necessarily pick a side, because I can't be on multiple fronts.
I guess it took it that long
Not
to
really,
fix them.
because I only have 2 infantry units. So I have to have my infantry units just like here and safe, and then start laying into him. Because if he uses his missiles, I don't know if he really even has any. I'm assuming he must have something. And he kills my infantry, well then he can just like, then I kind of have to just like fight him with archers, because I'm not going to kite him all over the town. That sucks. So let's turn these guys off. Alright, let's melee mode and destroy these things.
Right into the double.
7 years on and new bugs are still being discovered. Yeah, that's the first time I've ever seen that one. Like loads of naval bugs, obviously, but I've never seen javelins just falling and then like leaving the men's hands. I heard Total War Troy doesn't have naval battles because they don't have the license for triremes. They couldn't get the license from the Iliad. We can fire on the ones that are facing my cav. So if I keep my cav over here, he has to face me, and then we'll fire on try fire into his back. Oh, he does have his missiles there.
Orders. Hold. Double time.
Hey, our dude that almost nearly didn't make it has arrived as well. Good to see him here. Like, I don't know what else I can do but whittle him down. I know it's from the front, but like, what else can I guess I can run up a little bit further, can we? We could, but I don't know, it's kind of risky.
We will darken the skies. Quick march. Swords.
And we've got a lot of ammo, so we'll see how this goes.
Slingers! Galatians.
Galatians.
Run, Gushu.
Murder his missiles first? It seems like a waste though, because like if I run out of ammo and he has infantry left, I won't have anything to kill them with. Surely I have to focus his infantry first.
At speed.
I know this is a little bit slow and boring, but man, there's not much else we can do.
Slingers. Withdraw.
Can't come out from that side anyway, the barricades keep him in. Yeah, I guess so.
Battle ready.
I wonder what happens if I just click this. Will these guys throw? They don't seem to want to... Oh, that's because I had that turned off.
Targets.
Ugh. You can always shoot them in the back if you play your cards right. That's what I'm trying to do, but he's blocked off all areas. Like, what can if I run when I ran close to try and fire maybe at some of these guys, he moved them out. I only have 2 infantry units. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do about that. Alright, let's chomp through some of the barricades and see if he'll actually come forward a bit, and then I can see if I can fire into him from the side, just even a little. I might just have to do a charge, a cycle charge on one of these units. See if I can get them to move. Well, charging from the front seems suicidal.
Swords!
Like, it's a bit cheesy just to stack everything on the general, that's why I didn't do that, like, for the first unit that we fired on, because we just try to avoid doing that.
Our orders! We serve the mighty Pharaoh! Withdraw! Swords!
Alright, I don't know what else to do now other than just charge in.
Swords!
Well, we gotta do it.
Ready for orders! Glory awaits! Riders, advance!
Not shooting your ammo in the rear was the biggest waste. I fucking couldn't do it, Holland. I couldn't do it. He's blocking each area. What do you want from me? I said that at the beginning. I was like, how can I hit him in the backs? He turned to face me internally. And I don't have the troops to have everywhere. If I started moving my units here, which I did, to aim at the back down here, he ran forward. How would you have done it any better? I don't understand that.
Cavalry! Sword! Ready! Charge!
One cav each side. His spears charging cav though isn't good for me either. Even if I had a cav unit on each side, he'll just move his spear unit forward. What? And then I run the cav unit back. So how does that change anything? Yeah, it would never work against a person. He's got more numbers where he doesn't need to either A, leave an area left alone, or B, turn his back with any of them. So there's no way. Like I acknowledged the problem at the beginning, and I don't think there's a way to do it. But I don't know why I just did that. That was a mistake. I'll probably just dismount this cav unit now in a second. 'Cause they don't, yeah, their charge doesn't seem to really do anything. I'm not saying commit the cavalry. I know not to commit the cavalry, but I'm saying if I had a cavalry unit here, how does that prevent... Why would that make any of his units be turned the wrong way? If I had a cav unit here and a missile unit here trying to fire on his back, like let's say here, right? We're trying to hit his back, yeah? So missile units are all here trying to fire at his back. They can't do it because of these two units. They will just run forward. They'll just run forward. Now, if I had an infantry unit for every side, an infantry unit, we can actually engage him, and that way he'd have to leave, he'd have to be engaged on all fronts, yeah? He'd be engaged on every front, and then you could fire in his back. But without 3 infantry units, I can't do that, unless I dismounted my cavalry and then threw them in. Not an idiot. Just feel like against the human player, he's not going to turn his back when we don't have the infantry. What I could have done, I think, though, is maybe dismounted and then engaged all 3 spots. And then we could have brought the missiles up to fire. Yeah, retreat. Guess so. These guys are fucked as well. I don't know what their deal is. Will they withdraw? Looks like... no. The general died, by the way, I think. Oh no, he's still alive, actually. Wonder can he get back on the horse? That doesn't look like it.
Orders understood. Galatians! Break up! Cavalry! Advance at speed! General!
Oh my god, he actually got on.
He yeeted out of there as fast as he bloody
What
could.
a legend. Actually managed to get
Back
on
on his horse and yeet yeet.
That unit, by the way, is bugged out. I can't move them. The one that's just running back and forth.
At your service! Understood!
Oh, really?
The one next to the general. Yeah, he's been bugged out for a while. It's so tempting to be like, can I get through there and do something? Especially if these guys charge from the front.
General! Advance! Ptolemaic cavalry! Advance at speed! Fall forward, Lord! Come on now! Advance! Melee cavalry, ready! Ptolemaic cavalry!
No point. Let's see if we get him out.
At the double!
I don't think I'll get him out though. He seems pretty fucked.
Yes, commander! Orders! Back!
No, for general. Not good.
I mean, he did
Quicker than a retreat.
He did an admirable job there.
Yeah, people were like, oh, you know, fire in his back. Like, I wanted to fire in the back of your units, but I was like, he's not gonna let, like, he's never gonna turn any of his units to let me fire in his back.
We don't have enough infantry as well to engage.
That's what I was saying. I needed like one for each, like each of the 3 ways in. Then at least, then I could have fired in your back. But without 3 separate infantry, I don't think I could do it unless I disbanded my cav and went to each side. And then he forced you into combat. But I think my cav, it would have been a waste of cavalry. But anyway.
Yeah, and I also had archers as well shooting your missiles, so you just
Yeah.
had no infantry to engage phalanxes, so your missiles were a bit useless. And losing that pike unit as well was pretty brutal. That pike unit could have been really useful.
Well, so far on our side, we've lost Acragas and Panormus, but we liberated Panormus so that there's just something there to be an ally of ours. We lost Ars, but we retook it, and now we have 2 armies in Iberia, and we're going to be pushing up to Numantia. It's the only people we're left with at war there.
We make this modest request in the knowledge that your coffers strain to contain your wealth.
I kind of want to do that to make them happy, but yeah, let's do it to make them happy. The client got a pretty big army. Yeah, it's a decent sized army, but it's not at war with Rome. But if Rome want Sicily fully, then they'd have to go to war with them, I guess. They won't like them because they have a treaty with me. So there's the Aravasi army. It's really annoying that they're there.
My lord. Ready for battle.
There's no population here, so it's a pretty big struggle. How much longer are you going for? Another hour, I think. Yeah.
My time is better spent feasting and hunting than listening.
They want
So
peace.
Be quick with your chattering.
They're at war with these guys. Client.
My time is better spent feasting and hunting than listening. So be quick with your chattering.
This might be what we need. So we can client them. Obviously client them for less. And then we can just move back towards Rome. F to them, kill them all. Kill them all! Oh man, it's a tough one. Just because it's like, yeah... But so what we'd have to be doing is committing to like 5 or 6 more turns in Iberia to take out the Aravasi, at least. Clienting them, they're at war with the Gallici, and that's not going to give us do us any favors. Like, I'd like to increase relations with other people in Iberia so that we don't have to worry about it when we do leave. But the nice thing about this is, we'd forego those 6 or 7 turns or whatever, and just go straight back to Sicily and go to Rome. But we have a navy to keep Rome at bay. So I would say stay in Iberia. And yeah, ally the Lusitani or something like that. Are you satisfied walking away now? No, well, it's not a personal grudge thing. I'm just honestly trying to think, like, what is the best solution? Like, right now, we don't see any massive Roman fleet coming for me or anything like that. So on that front, things are looking safe enough. I'm just going to go here with this guy. So we've got a fleet here. We could even build it up a bit more if we wanted to. And that should stop Rome moving across to anything like threatening us down here. Or even over here. So we have time. We have a little bit of time to really finish these guys off. Like, the copper mines is what I'd like to get. We lost our iron mine. But getting a copper mine would be good. It's just a lot of time commitment. If you kill them, it might make those who are at war with you like you. That's the thing. So, like, it would be great because I could kill them, execute them, and then these guys would like me a little bit more. Now, what's the deal with the Lusitani? Let's see how they factor in. Lusitani are also allied with the Gallici, so having them all be friends, Lusitani like me. See, that's so important. I think having those three on my side if I can, even the Celtici, if we can, is really important. So if we can raid or kill more Vettoni armies and things like that, I think we're going to stay. It's so annoying that now's the time that we have the opportunity to do that, but I guess that's the whole point.
I live to serve the mighty Carthage.
If we can just sneak in there and take this army will just start to die off. Hopefully it doesn't... Like, if it comes down here, we still should have time to get back. And if we trespass the Vettonis, then no big deal. The Galatici will be okay with it. Or whatever, the Celtici. You can risk a bit more time, Sven. I agree. It's interesting that it's giving me that kind of opportunity at this point in the campaign. So, but before we... I mean, we'll start moving up now anyway. It's spring, then it's going to be summer. I don't know if we'll get there by winter. Maybe. Possibly. What we need to do is definitely consolidate this army. It's a little rough. A little broken up. Bring this one. This one's good enough. The other one needs to be merged and upgraded and improved. Nahania. Alright, so who are the weakest lot? Well, let's see what we can recruit before I merge. Subjects are growing again, which is nice. Are you trading with the Vivici, the Gauls in Tarico? Yeah, good question, because obviously the other two are at war with them. We are. Yeah, maybe let's cancel that, right? Though I don't necessarily want to risk a war. They don't like me already, though. How much is the trade worth? 99? Let's just cancel it. So that we help treaties with these two. They're at war with the Aravasi. They're at war with the Vivici. So these guys should like me more. So now it's just past treaties with Vivici, -2. I guess the flip will be to use them as a client in case others declare war on you, so that you have time to react. The others are, even if I client them, they're still going to be at war with these guys. I don't know. It doesn't like reset their diplomacy.
How can I serve Carthage?
So yeah, we need mercs here.
Fight for you, my lord.
Let's get rid of... Actually lags quite a lot, doesn't it, the game? I didn't realize that when you scroll through these. I guess because it's looking at the... Oh, it doesn't actually show you the manpower. I don't know. So we have 18 units. We can get... What's the cavalry situation? We've got these two. Let's merge them. They're too expensive to have not at full strength. And then we have 2 of these guys already.
At your command.
That's four missiles, a bunch of infantry, and some cav. Not that much cav, but some. We got more cav in this army. Check Naval. I'll check those later. I've only got 3 minutes left. I'm just trying to think, what should I even build now? Massey has gone back to being level 1. You probably afford to bring it up a level. You'll make more money. This place needs a temple, actually, thinking about it. Let's get one out of Boston, because we're not going to have anything else there. Okay, that's all fine. The army that was here needs to head back south to make public order better down here. 16 public order from that guy. So he's like a governor, dude. I know he's got some units, but that's fine, really. Because then, actually, that's perfect. Because if this army starts to head south, we'll just run up north with that. Yeah. Okay. Massia is making 6k in my campaign now with a good governor. Yeah, Massia seems to... Because there's a decent amount of... Well, actually, it's just olives and then copper. I guess that's kind of decent. I'm surprised my general hasn't, like, gotten better stuff himself. With no threat of these dudes coming across, I'm gonna get rid of this. Because I don't see any like full fleet or anything nearby. So we'll get rid of these guys. Just save ourselves some cash. It was just in case. That's why we built it. And I've never decided what to do with this. I feel like tech speed or something might be good. Or actually commerce. Yeah, there we go. I want to do the... Because we have so many trade agreements. 3% from tariffs and wealth from all commerce. I think that's better. Alright. End the turn there. Don't think there's anything else I need to do. Alright. Let's serve the mighty Carthage. So, we've got our spy here. We know what's going on. But let's have a look where that other army's gone. There it is. Whoop, there it is. And we can actually just about reach it. With one army, though. So we can't reach it. We'll have to wait. Now, it's gonna they're only recruiting up to 4 units. Not a big deal. So if they want to come fight me, then come at me, bro, I guess. I was thinking of staying in my own territory to get the replenishment, but I don't think, because next turn's going to be fall. I'd like to actually be able to reach the town, so I'm going to stay about here.
Ready for order.
And bring us both up. I'll probably overhaul the province once I get it done, because otherwise it's like a hostile province, and I feel like things could go wrong. The reason I got food, you're right, I do have too much food now, so we can afford to get rid of these, but at the same time, I'm only at level 1 settlement, so that's going to be -3 food if we upgrade that one. We're not getting any others anytime soon. Okay, yeah, we've definitely got the food to do that then. The other thing I want to make sure of is, yeah, we have negative public order here. I think I'll probably expand this and build a temple. So we'll probably always need one while we have clients, which is probably what's going to have to happen. So I'll probably do that in a sec.
How can I serve Carthage?
Let me get familiar with my generals. So we have gray is our color, like our faction's color. But I'm running forward with the red guy because I want, like I said, oh no, gray isn't. Green is. Okay, my bad. So either one of these to initiate the battle would be good.
I live to serve the mighty
and it'll gain favor within their party. So 24% chance of positive outcomes. Just not good enough to risk doing that. I really want to keep my spy here, so we'll just move him back. Focus this, and then we can see. Now, that's an enemy transport fleet on its own. A Roman transport fleet. And we've got a fleet near it. Now, I don't know what that's going to mean for us in the auto-resolve, but I would imagine we can take that pretty easily. 12 ships really, because you can't really count the supply ship. 12 versus 20 transports, not many missiles. We could ram the crap out of them, right? Healer gives you 36% research rate. We should do it somewhere. We definitely will. See, I didn't invest in many buildings. A perfect place for that would be somewhere like over here, though. Yeah, so let's do it at Alalia. Try to get a healer and build that up over time. And then here as well, like have like a library and increase that. Remember, Darren, you're against Jackie. That's true. But even against Jackie, I think, like, our ships should just basically one-tap him. It's just a question of, like, I'm not very good at naval battles, obviously. Although we've won, I think we actually won 2 and lost 2 against Jackie, big ones. When ships connect, when they ram into each other, if he's in boarding mode, I feel like he can just lock me down, and then he'd win. That's the only thing I'm a bit worried about. He's got so many ships that some of them would be locked into that melee. That would scare me a bit. So I could like go out and try to attack them, or I could just let them go, and I could just go into Akragas and take it back, or even liberate it. Should I just want them not to be in Sicily right now? Deal with this whole place later. Even your Hemiolias will blow them up. It's just whether or not I get locked into melee. That's my only fear. Let's see. Maybe it's an auto-resolve. It's an auto-resolve. It's fine. Hopefully not many of our ships sink. That's good enough for me. No one else is at war with Rome, I don't think. We'll just take the money.
We still have a win, my lord.
You need 1 ram tech.
How can I serve Carthage?
I reckon we can finish that completely.
Good orders, my lord.
What do you think? Keep going? Finish it completely? Get them again? It says, get them again. Show those Roman gods. Yeah. Who the ruler is. The ruler of the waves.
How can I serve Carthage?
Kind of want to go defensive. We'll just go medium. Ah, we'll go defensive. See what happens. How do you like that, Rome? Suck it! Suck it! Didn't lose a single goddamn ship.
Is there nothing else? Yes.
It's like in that Spider-Man film. You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. Alright, cool. Getting them out of Sicily. There's a decent amount of Punic culture left there. Damn, if it was only 50, we'd actually have a decent population as well to draw from. Just destroyed Roman transports crossing the ocean. Carthage rules the waves.
Fools.
Didn't lose a single ship.
Very nice.
Alright, is that it? Have we forgotten to do anything? We do have 5 grand. I want to upgrade this. I think it's the right thing to do before I commit to... Well, let's convert the port. Let's convert the one at Ebossum. Mastia has trade potential. So does Ebossum. But at much less, actually. So we'll do Mastia then. Yeah. Alright. Is that it? Are we good? I'll leave that for now. We have a lot of food, actually, thinking about it. Sorry for the music. That's our Killing Carthage music. One last thing, actually. Just want to check. So public order in Hispania. How bad is it? Pretty bad. It is pretty bad. I might get this guy to run over that way. And calm them down next turn.
On the move, my lord. Destination reached.
Yeah, he's just gonna have to run all over the place, keeping the public order down. Now Rome are probably just gonna raise another stack like immediately, which is the sad part, but it's the message that we want to send. Your family's pumping out kids? Oh yeah. Well, to be honest, he's only had... The thing I don't understand, really, is he's had 3 kids. And then 1 bastard child. The very first kid he had was a bastard child. I don't know what this one means. There's no line going to it. Like, there's no... It's not yellow and not red. It's white? What does that mean? Adopted? Not too sure. Oh, no, the yellow is probably the adoption. That's it. And these are actually legits. Yeah. And then these are illegitimate. She's illegitimate. Bessan. She's 8 years old. 5 and 2. Mattis, absolute mad lad. No passes. Gonna put him in like a mountain choke point or a bridge battle and be like, no passes. Here all night. Actually, only here for like another 10 minutes, but. Trouble on the Nile? Trouble on the Nile?
Trouble on the Nile. Yeah, I ended up losing my king again by mistake. I clicked loot instead of sack, so my army was stuck in the city, and they just bum rushed me. But it's nice to see Egypt finally building some decent armies all of a sudden, because the past couple of streams they've kind of been faffing around. I've been like purposely leaving them like alive and not going hard on them in the hopes that they would build some armies, and so it's quite nice to see it. But that was a dumb mistake, losing my king.
Yeah, when you took Memphis, I was thinking that... I was like, oh shit, you must be ready to push, because they've got 2 armies at Alexandria, so I thought you must be confident that you can hold, should they attack.
No, the plan was just to loot the city and then run away, because obviously I'd lost that battle against you earlier, so I didn't have enough to push on the city.
And I can catch you up on what happened. So essentially what we know of my campaign, actually here's what happened for me. Where the hell is... Sorry, I haven't used it in a while. There we go. Don't mind that thing. So essentially what happened for us was Rome declared war on us before. So Rome then pushed south. They kind of came down this way with their navy. They took... we fought a big naval battle here, and then a second navy kind of came down with just a few with like 10 ships, I think. And then they unloaded their troops and assaulted the port of Acragas, taking that. So that was like that gone. Then the next turn, next turn they just went around, took this. They used their troops on land to walk across, and they took that. So we lost that. Then as well, we lost Ars. Pretty much like that. But then not too long afterwards, we linked up an army down this way. I don't know if you see my mouse very clearly there, but we linked up an army down this way. And took it back. And we brought it across the ocean, fought a rebellion here, gathered some mercenaries, and then took it back. And now we're pushing finally to Numantia, which is here. That's that. For Jackie, it's a little hard to tell because I haven't been able to see exactly how it's going for him. We didn't fight any of our battles out today, but we did fight Jackie's ones. Some of Jackie's ones. So as far as I know, he doesn't own it, but his client state owns Mias Hormos here. Okay, so his client state does own that. I might need a separate color for client states or something, as people were saying before. Then he took Mias Hormos, which I'll need to look at, like, what their territory, like, how far does that go down? I don't know. Something like that. He took Mias Hormos, and then he pushed up and took out this area here with his king. And he accidentally took it. He said he didn't mean to do that. He meant to just sack it. And then his king was trapped there, and Egypt came back and took it back off him. So he lost it. So that's, as far as I know, unless he has other territories elsewhere, as far as I know, that's what he has. I don't think he has this. I could be wrong. I might need to double check on that. Those two, he was at war with Nabatea and he lost. But maybe he did just auto-resolve it and take it, actually. I haven't seen that. So that's currently the situation on the campaign. So right now, my plan, is to deal with the rest of Numantia, or what are they called? Aravasi, that's what they're called. So we have an army here. We're cutting through. We might as well zoom in a bit further. But yeah, so we've cut through here, and we have two armies about to approach their town. On the other side of things, then, when we're done there, we'll have this nice chunk of territory as well, right? So that'll complete this province. That's one province, not counting this bit. Now, it's tempting to go then for the Vitones next, just because they're on their own, they don't have any armies, and they're at war with the Celtici. So we'll gain favor if we do go and kill them. And this is actually part of this province. So it would actually make sense to have at least 2 towns in it and help our culture a bit. So maybe, if they're still weak, we'll do that on the way down. Once we're done there, we're going to go back to Mastia or to Ars or whatever. Yeah, so that's a maybe, right? That's a maybe. We'll go back here, probably. Get on the boats. Go up to Alalia. And then cross to Rome. And see if we can take it. If it seems like that's improbable or impractical, we'll do something else. But that's generally the idea is, one way or another, we're going to be bringing these troops back. And we're going to be crossing and dealing with a Roman invasion. So it's going to be cool. Might take a while to get to that point, though. It takes a lot of turns to move these armies around. The last thing I'll mention then, just really quickly, is it does seem like the Lusitani, who we have to worry about. Just fill it in this one for now. It seems like the Lusitani then have like this area, and they're gonna get this area. We don't need that or anything, but it's just interesting to see how they're expanding. So having good relations with them, I think, is very important. Based on that. Yeah, it seems like sort of like that's Lusitani territory. Then we have the Celtici down here. I'll just fill that in real quick as well. Why not? We're here. That bile green color. So yeah, Celtici are down here. And then the Gallici Confederation or whatever are back up that way. But that's that. So that's the kind of situation in Iberia. So if we can make friends with them, that'd be great. Keep them just happy while we deal with Rome.